Let's start with the question. Which method of backtracking to an Orb of Yendor is more viable? In hyperrogue, once you find an Orb of Yendor, it activates a beacon that directs you towards its key, which seems to always be exactly 100 spaces away. Having just acquired my first key, I was a bit disappointed to find out there's no return beacon to direct you back to the orb you need to open. Given the infinite hyperbolic nature of the map and the fact each key opens only its orb, this makes the key I got pretty useless. Now, I'm trying to plan out a strategy for my next run through as to how to get back after getting the key, but I'm having trouble figuring out how I'm supposed to do this. So far, I've devised two at least theoretically possible approaches. 1. The prize orb from the dungeon. The Orb of Recall warps you back to where you came from a certain number of turns after its use. Repeated uses increase the duration without resetting the anchor, so it should be technically possible to set up a recall anchor at the orb and then pick up additional orbs of recall along the way, since keys don't vanish even when you use an orb of safety. This should get you back to the Orb of Yendor with its key. 2. The prize orb from the graveyard. The dead orb can be dropped, marking a space. With enough of them, an elaborate trail of breadcrumbs could be made from the Orb of Yendor to its key, and then followed back. In strategic mode, obviously, the first option is better since you'll never have enough dead orbs to use the second one. And since you can store up your orbs of recall to use all at once. Generally, though, I play the classic mode, and I'm not sure which option is better in that case. Assuming I'd get equal necromantic talismans vs. slime mold, which option gets me to a reasonable assuredness of a 1,000 step long backtracking distance faster? So how can we solve this? There are two possible answers. Answer 1. I don't think that the Orb of Recall strategy is really viable in classic mode. It would require a lot of luck. The originally intended strategy was the dead orb one. That said, if you're willing to hunt around for a suitable Orb of Yendor, which you presumably are, given you're seriously suggesting the Orb of Recall strategy in classic mode, here's my advice: look for one next to a minefield, leading into the minefield. Don't collect any bomberbird eggs beforehand, in order to minimize the spawn rate of mines and bomberbirds. Answer 2. You get enough dead orbs in orb strategy mode too. There are infinitely many lying around in the haunted woods. And you also get one whenever you use up another orb. I would also like to note that, once you succeed, the Yendor challenge becomes available in Special Modes menu. These challenges are based on many different strategies to track your way back. This includes the two you have mentioned, the minefield strategy mentioned by John, and many other ones. I hope these answers helped, and if they did, please drop a comment and subscribe.